Now we just did a scheduled meeting, just so you know, at this time you can have up to about 300, I say about, you can have up to 300 people in a Teams meeting. If you want to have more than 300 attend your meeting, you need to have what is called a live event. And the way to do that, and that will have up to 20,000 right now. It will change in October back down to 10,000, which is the default. But when you have a live event, which is right here, you can see live event, you can do a live event for 4 hours. And in a particular domain or tenant, you can do up to, I believe, 15 live sessions at one time. So it'll allow to do 15 live sessions at a time for 4 hours each. So that's pretty powerful for an entire tenant or organization. They've upped that to 50 during this pandemic time up until October, so you can have 50 concurrent, and they've upped the number of people that can attend up to 20,000 for live events. So of course they're attending the meeting. They're not necessarily all participants. They don't have the same rights as you would when you were scheduling meetings and having chat. But there's some question and answer and things like that. You also do have 16 hours up until October 1st to be able to have recorded video. And that video will stay in your Microsoft Stream for 180 days after, so attendees can go back and see it. But let's go ahead and start a live event. So the first thing I want to do is name the event. So we'll just call this Live Teams Event. Can't spell my name. There we go. You can pick a location, you don't have to. Some organizations have rooms or things like that. You can invite people here. You don't necessarily have to. These are people who are presenting with you. You don't invite your attendees here. Actually, you can see at the top, it says you don't invite attendees until you've scheduled it. So let's schedule it for 7 p.m. tonight, and we'll say live from your room. It's Teams for everyone. All right, so we got live Teams events already. I am the producer. I can be a presenter, and other people can be producers. Basically, it's kind of like owner, and then the next level down would be presenter. So I'm going to click on next, and I can decide whether this is only for specific people or everybody in the organization, so it requires a sign-in, or if it's public and no sign-in is required. I can decide whether to make the recording available to attendees or not, just like I said earlier. And so if I have all this and I'm ready, I go ahead and click on schedule. Let me go back before and let me show you people and groups. If you do people and groups, you have to add permissions here. And so that's where you would add it. If you did organization-wide, you wouldn't need it. You would just share the link. Same thing with public. But people and groups, of course, you're doing this because it's a larger than 300 live event. So I'm going to do public and schedule. And that's it. There's an attendee link right here. And I just click on here to actually join, but I'm just going to click on close. And you can see there's the event set up. Notice it looks a little bit different. This one has like a little file cabinet, has a little circle around. This one has the icon for the live event. So when I click on it to join it, I can open it up. It's a nice way to chat with participants too. So it opens up. Notice all of the same features we saw in the other one. Let me go back. And this time when I click on it, I'm going to open it up larger. And you'll see the same thing we had earlier. It's going to look like any other meeting. If I click join now to start it, it's going to just show the name. I'm joining as a producer. They recommend I mute options here. I can add attendees, or I can join as an attendee to watch the event. And so these people can't present or moderate the Q&A. So I click on join now. and it's not going to show a camera because I'm using my camera over here. Now here's the interesting part is it's going to show a bunch of things, like first of all, it couldn't start my video because I was using video here, and you can improve your window by changing the screen resolution. Some people even up it, and then I can unmute myself. And so here we are. This is showing what the live event would look like, and down here is the queue. So these are things you want kind of to be ahead of time. I can actually add video from below, and I can just prepare and get it ready. So if I hit add content from below, notice there's nothing down here. Add video from below. So those are just 2 different sections when you're in, or you can do the entire area. The event hasn't started, so we're not at the start time. I can mute everybody. Some other things inside of here that's interesting. So you have the health and performance, you have your meeting notes, show conversations, who's in the meeting, and then your basic settings. And so the one thing that's different about a live meeting like this is you have auditorium mode. So you can optimize your sound, and you can have live captions be turned on so that everybody can see it. So it's kind of forcing that, and then allow attendees to see live captions too. Okay, so I came back out just to show you again how to start this up and make sure you're queued and ready to go, because it was more of just showing you the interface. So I'm going to click on it now, and I can open it up larger and click join. And of course, join again. They recommend you mute it. Sure, let's do that. So then it's going to open up. It's just going to have your video down there at the bottom. And remember, just like when you're sharing anything in Teams, your areas that you share from are down here. Since the live event hasn't started yet, I can click on my video, and now that's used as the live video queue. So like that's what's coming kind of next in preparing for the live event. If I click on this box that says content left, now my little area here is showing my video, but I need to add content. So where does that content come from? It comes from sharing your screen. So when I click on share, I can click on one of my items that I want to share. So let's say it's this particular thing. So notice I'm sharing it. So where did my screen go? Well, let me Alt-Tab and go back. And so there's my screen. So I want to add content from below. So now when I click on that, it's now showing whatever's on my screen. Okay. And you see my mouse is moving in there because it's underneath. So of course, you know, it might be better if you had a second screen if you were doing the live event. That way you could see multiple things and not have to Alt-Tab go back and forth. But you can see it is an easy way to see yourself in the meeting and then also see anything you're presenting. Most of the time it's probably some sort of PowerPoint of some sort. If I click on send live, even though the live event has not officially started, it's going to now mirror, okay? And so if I needed to put anything else up in the queue, I could put it in there, but it's going to mirror what's going on. And if I hit start, it'll go live to all of those attendees. So remember the attendees, they had a link, right? So let me hit start here. And it's just going to say, once you start the event, it can last up to 16 hours and it has like a 10 to 20 second delay. So I'm not going to start right now because this is also going to go in my storage for right now, and I don't want to set that up. But anyway, so now if I were to stop sharing or actually go to my section on the right where it shows people, I can copy the join information here, and it's the same information, and I'll just put it here in the chat right there. So it's just going to say join a live event. Join as producer or presenter when it's time for the event. And then there's producer help, presenter help, and manage live events. So this is inviting people to be a part of it. Now, if there are attendees, then remember, it's totally different. So I'm going to go back and hit leave here. Go back, and there's the notes that I put from there. Let me go back to the calendar again and open this up. And remember, it's going to show attendee link. So that's a little bit different. And now if I were to go back to my little chat, because remember it's chat with participants, let me go ahead and erase this so you can see what happens with the attendees. So the attendees are just given this link. And when they click on the link, I can post this. This will open up the live event so they can join. And if they're not recognized as a producer, it'll just have them join and they'll see the video. All right, so I just opened up the browser and I pasted this in. So now let's hit enter and see what happens. Oh, look, it's going to want us to open up Teams. Well, let's open up Teams on the web because we want to watch. So we're going to open up on the web the queue for the meeting, and it's going to open up Teams, and I'm going to be considered a guest. And it's just going to say what we saw earlier is the event has not started. And so that way participants or people who are watching it, that's what they have. Notice there's no chat area for them. There's no device settings as far as just their own audio. That's all they can kind of manage in here. And if they were to go to the chat, you can see the chat is just going to be for whoever signed in. And so, and it's not even going to be listed. Well, actually it's listed because I am a user on here. If I paste this again, you'll see watch on the web instead. And I can make sure that I sign out of here. Now let's try that again. See if that makes a difference. If I'm signed out. Join anonymously. So when you're not signed in, if you're not a Microsoft member, it's not going to bring up the entire team. It's just going to bring up the event. So you kind of saw all the scenarios. If you're invited, you're obviously going to be inside Teams. If you have an account, if you don't have an account, you can just join anonymously if it's a public one, and this is what it looks like. And so the event will just be on here. And there is availability for kind of Q&A during live session. All right, so I just wanted to show you the live session. So on this left window here, you have me as the producer. Notice it says live, and it's showing there's an attendee. And there's the live version. So I started or sent it live. So you can see this live version. And on the right side of the screen, you can see it says live down here. I can turn on closed captioning. And remember, I have to enable that for the users. So if I went down here, turned on live captioning for attendees and so forth, then that would be put in there. And the other things that we'd want to be able to do is when I hit show participants, you can see I'm the only one in the call. And I can make this bigger, and notice it's just full screen. So it allows people to watch, and you can have them in, but that's kind of what the event would look like. And I can click on end, and it ends the live event. And you'll see on the right shortly that live event, remember it said about 10 to 20 seconds behind, so it will end the live event shortly for this person on the right, or they can leave also the live event. So you can see that's been ended. I'm going to leave on the left, and the live event still showing. If I go back to, there's my calendar, and then the live event is here. I can hit leave, and that's it. Notice if I hit rejoin, what happens? It's just going to start at the 2 minutes over, and so I can scroll through and play what I need to for that live event. So that's nice, having that same link. It allows you to go back.